everyone, if you're new here, my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a really exciting one because I'm finally reading Fourth Wing. I put Fourth Wing on my August TBR, and then I didn't read it in August, and then I put it on my September TBR. The current date right now is September 25th, and I hadn't started it as of last night, and I was like, you know what? We're starting it. It's time. I feel like I've just been avoiding it, but last night I finished reading a book, and I wanted to keep reading something else, and I just was really kind of in the mood for Fourth Wing. So I decided to start it. I filmed a few clips last night on my iPhone because I really sporadically decided to start reading and I wanted to document that I was starting it. Let's roll those clips and then I'll give you more thoughts. Guys, it is like 11 something. Oh, 11:30, and I should be going to bed right now, but I think I'm gonna start Fourth Wing, so I just want to let you know I'm starting it. I've got my matcha squishmallow supporting me. Also, I'm a bit congested, but yeah, I feel like I want to be obsessed with the book, and I just haven't felt that way in a while, and I'm just like craving that feeling, and I feel like Fourth Wing is a good contender. Also, okay, the way it starts, it says, the following text has been faithfully transcribed by Jasenia, who? Curator of the Scribe Quadrant? I'm like, what are we talking about, guys? May their souls be commended to Malik. Like, what? What is the Scribe Quadrant? I guess those are writers, not writers. Okay, let's just get started. Chapter 1. Conscription Day. This is giving, what's it called in Divergent, where they have to pick what faction they're gonna be in. Okay, who's narrating? Like, who's talking? I think it's a girl. I literally know nothing about Fourth Wing, guys, seriously. Why do we always have to have weird names? General Sorengale? What is Navarre? I guess the country? Maybe, and then that's their language is Navarian. Okay, my arm's hurting from holding my camera above my head while I'm reading. It's fun getting these clips though. I don't know, I'm at a crossroads. Oh, I probably should have been on 0.5 this whole time, huh? I mean, I can't narrate me reading this whole book, guys, as much as I wish I could. Also, I need to go to bed because I have to go in the office in the morning, and it's literally almost midnight, and I need to get up in like 6 hours, so that's not gonna fly with me tomorrow. I think there's 4 quadrants, so you can either be a healer, a scribe, a foot soldier, or a rider. Tag yourself. I'm a scribe. Okay, I'm excited to read. I need to just focus on reading, guys, if I have any chance of going to bed, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so as you saw, I started Fourth Wing, and I literally didn't even finish the first chapter. I have it pulled up on my phone because my Kindle's charging 4% of the way into the book. I was taking a few notes when I was reading, when I stopped filming, so that I could go back and reference them and keep you guys updated on all of my thoughts. The main girl, her name is Violet. I feel like when I started reading, I was like, wait, so who's talking? It's Violet. And then her sister is Mira, so I got that figured out, and then their mom is the commander, and she's really mean. So I also feel like this is heavy giving Divergent. This is Divergent with dragons, I'm not gonna lie. And then it also has a little bit of like a Monsters University vibe to it, where it's like a little bit unserious. Like, it's serious, but at Monsters University, how they all want to be scarers, it feels the same. Like, they all want to be dragon riders, or not even that everyone wants that, but that's the most like coveted role, I guess. Remember when I said tag yourself, I'm a scribe? That's what Violet was supposed to be. She wanted to be a scribe. She was like training to be a scribe, and then all of a sudden her dad died, and her mom was like, no, you're gonna be a dragon rider because we're a family of girl bosses. It's kind of where we are. Violet is voluntold that she's gonna be joining the rider quadrant, and then Mira is like walking her kind of to the drop off. And I really like kind of the first chapter in the setup though, because Mira is basically giving Violet all of these tips. She did the program I think like 6 years ago, and she's a dragon rider now, and I just really like how Mira's giving all this advice because it's really orienting me as a reader as well to like the setting and the setup and what's going on. And then there's also all of this lore about a rebellion. What's new in a romantasy, right? Mira tells Violet to stay away from Xaden. His dad was the leader of the rebellion. They called him the Great Betrayer. Basically, I guess Xaden got voluntold into being a rider as punishment to his dad because they thought that all the kids of the separatists would end up dying training to be dragon riders, but Xaden actually survived. Xaden's a wing leader, whatever that means. And then Mira also gave Violet the advice that she needs to try to find Dane. Mira trusts Dane, and my girl Violet like seems to low-key have a crush on Dane, so I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. That's where we're at with the setup. I just wanted to make sure I am giving enough updates, especially in the beginning, to get all my reactions and stuff. I'm really excited to keep reading. Anyways, those are all of my updates for now. I need to go to the office before I'm running late, and we'll see you guys later. Hey guys, I'm home from work. I did read and finish chapter 1 when I got home. I was just kind of in like honestly not that good of a mood, so I didn't want to pick up the camera when I was feeling grumpy. I think I'm just stressed because there's supposed to be this storm that hits Atlanta tomorrow. It's Hurricane Helene, I think is her name. They're saying that we need to prepare to lose power Thursday night into Friday, which is tomorrow night. I'm feeling a little anxious and stressed about that, and I think that's making me grumpy. Anyways, I don't mean to bog you down with my stress of a tropical storm. However, it has affected my reading progress today. So basically what's happening right now is that Jack is chasing Violet across the parapet. Honestly, I hope Jack falls off. I just don't understand these people who just like want to kill people for no reason. Well, I want to keep reading. I took my makeup off, I put on my PJs, so I'm gonna get back to reading. Okay, so Dane is mad at Violet for joining the writer's quadrant. He's like, why are you here? Because she was supposed to be a scribe. Guys, Dane and Violet are flirting. But what about Xaden? I fear we have a love triangle incoming. It is the next day and I don't have much to update you in terms of a reading vlog because the hurricane is coming tonight. We are in full hurricane prep mode. Well, I am. Anders is like, it's just gonna be a little wind and rain. Like, I don't even think the power is gonna go out. And I'm like, I don't think you've been on weather.com the way I've been on weather.com, but okay. I'm reading chapter 4 now. I just have not made much progress because honestly, when things like this happen, I get really anxious. I'm like pretty prepared. I think the worst thing that's gonna happen is that the power goes out. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Florida that are getting the brunt of this. I'm in Atlanta, so yeah, I'm just interested to see how this is all gonna play out. The office is closed tomorrow. Anders' office is closed tomorrow. Let me know if you guys are like in any of these affected areas too, or like, I'm sure by the time this goes up, we'll know what has happened. I really am thinking of anyone affected by the storm because it's no joke. That's my update. I'm sorry it's not more of an exciting Fourth Wing update, but just want to be real with you guys that this is what I'm dealing with and going through tonight. I think Anders and I may kind of have like a date night tonight, so I may take the night off of reading. Hi everyone, the hurricane has passed through Atlanta and as you can see, we have power. So all of that anxiety for not nothing, but I just feel relieved that we were not affected. But because we have power, that means I'm working today. I have my laptop right here actually. I also made myself a little pumpkin latte. Actually, it's like a maple pecan latte. Anyways, I'm working. So I'm gonna be doing this for the next few hours, but I've just had a crazy busy work month in September with my corporate job. And so I'm just doing my best with my reading and my videos, but I had to be in the office a lot more this month than I usually do for some different conferences and learning programs and stuff. And so I have to spend like an hour in the morning getting ready, packing my lunch, getting up earlier, like I'm not sleeping as much. So then I'm really tired when I get home. So I've just been a little bit out of my routine. So I feel like I need to not feel guilty. It's just figuring out how to balance it all. Bear with me. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to work and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. And good morning. It's the next day. So I got about 25% into Fourth Wing yesterday. I was just reading here and there. I've finished the first 10 chapters. I'm on page 133. So I wanted to give my thoughts given that I'm like about a quarter of the way through the book. Also, I did get out my Gorgeous Girls Love to Read Fantasy bookmark. I'm trying to think about what all has happened. I do feel like it's heating up now. Like I'm more excited to pick the book back up now that I am to this point. She's starting to like think in her head like, oh, this is what Dane would tell me to do, but this is what Xaden would tell me to do. And she's starting to opt for the advice that Xaden would give her, which is like chef's kiss. I feel like I just know that Dane is gonna end up being annoying and being like a loyalist enemy, and I feel like Violet is gonna like find out the truth. This is my prediction. Violet's gonna find out some truth about the war and like her mom is actually evil, and then she's gonna join the rebels, like the group of rebels that Xaden like kind of has built, and then maybe the whole Fourth Wing is gonna like break off and be like a rebel group. But I don't know. I'm only saying that because the book's called Fourth Wing, but I could be wrong about that. It may just be like that they round up the rebel people. Violet is like super into history
especially because she trained as a scribe. So I think her world view is going to be like absolutely blown up, and she's going to be crushed when she realizes that like what she knows is true is probably not true. Right now she's about to do the gauntlet. I think she's about to have to do it for real, but she's been training and like trying to figure it out. But I literally like Google imaged, and Reddit has this great thing of the gauntlet. It's like a diagram. I highly recommend looking this up. I didn't get spoiled for anything. I do always run that risk, but it really helps me to visualize like what we're talking about here. We're doing the gauntlet now. That's my update. Today is Saturday, so I'm going to go for a walk and read while I walk. I just got back from my walk and I literally stopped reading like 2 minutes before I got back because I was like, I need to hold this thought. Our girl Violet passed the gauntlet. She kind of cheated, but girl boss, work smarter, not harder. Also, she didn't really cheat. She thought outside the box. I didn't really realize, I think when you get to the top of the gauntlet, they all like get lined up and then they go and it's like presentation. So it's not the threshing, get presented to the dragons. So they have to just stand there. And I guess the dragons maybe are going to come like sniff them or breathe on them, and you know, you can't get scared. And the dragons are going to kill some of them who like aren't worthy. So they got to stand kind of far apart. Because if they torch someone, you know, you don't want to get torched if your neighbor gets deemed unworthy. So that's about to happen. But we have learned before they're going to the presentation that there's a feather tail dragon that's going to be there. And I remember thinking this before and I wanted to call it then. It slipped my mind. But because it's happening again now, I'm calling it again. Our girl Violet is going to bond with the feather tail. Like there's literally zero question in my mind about it. And I will be flabbergasted if that doesn't happen. Just in general, it seems like her strength is that she was trained as a scribe. So I really like that because it kind of sets her apart from all of her peers who were trained to be writers. Of course, it makes her unsure of herself in moments because she's still learning how to be a writer and how to fight. I feel like she just brings a lot of unique strengths to the role of a writer. This is it, guys. Standing at the end of the line is a small golden dragon. Sunlight reflects off its scales. Okay, it literally says small golden dragon. That's hers. It's hers. It's a done deal. It's a lock. So that's obvious. Okay, plot twist. I think that she's gonna bond with this black dragon, the biggest dragon that I think is even available this year, which is crazy. It's like the whole 180. But she went to go protect the little golden dragon, the feather tail, from getting assassinated by like the mean boys in her class because they were going to kill that little dragon. And just when she's about to meet her maker, this big unbonded dragon shows up, tucking the golden dragon like under its wing. And then she can like hear this dragon talk, but its mouth isn't moving. So it's like speaking through their bond. So it's saying like, step aside. Anyway, they're like talking to each other. So I'm thinking that this is going to be her dragon. So I stand corrected. But I'm like, how is she gonna get on this dragon genuinely? Like, I mean, we needed this dragon for the war effort for sure.
I'm back.
Hey! Violet just bonded with her dragon. I know.
Arsenal almost tied.
I saw. I don't know how to say her dragon's name. How would you say that?
Tarnianak?
Tarnianak.
Tarnianak? Tarnia? Yeah.
Tarnianak?
Tarnianak, I like that.
Can we stop with the complicated dragon names? What happened to Drogon, you know? Drogon was so iconic.
J.K. Rowling named dragon.
She got like the biggest unbonded dragon in the whole year.
No way.
I'm
so surprised.
I know. Well, they were playing me because for a while I thought she was going to bond with like this tiny feather tail one that was like golden, and it was like because it was small and she's small, and I was like, oh, that'll actually be like a good fit, and like maybe it'll be like small but mighty.
She's super powerful.
I got bait and switched. Oh, and she just fell off Tarn. Cool. She's in free fall. So Tarn caught her. He goes, you're making us look bad. Stop it. He's real for that. Wait, this is getting so much better now that the dragons are here. Also, what would happen if like, let's say like you have a crush on a boy but like your dragon hates his dragon? Like what do you... It complicates things, you know? This is so like to freaking Dane for not believing. He kept being like, please don't do this. Please quit. Please go be a scribe. Our girl Violet got Tarn Dane. So sit down and shut up. Did she get two dragons? The golden dragon is like talking to her now too. And the golden telling her name too when she's trying to like log what dragon chose her. Oh my gosh, did she get both of them? Guys, like I didn't know that you could bond with more than one dragon. Her name's Adarna. That's like her nickname. I'm not going to try to say her full name. Stop. They're like a pair. They're a trio. This has been so exciting and I can't wait to continue following the drama. Hey guys, I'm sitting down and I'm just about to film my TBR video for the month of October, but I wanted to give you an update because I have just been reading all day. I went for a walk, I was reading, came back, updated you guys. I showered and then I was like blow drying my hair and reading my Kindle doing my makeup and reading my Kindle. I'm almost at the 50% mark. I'm at 46%. Violet and Dane had a kiss and she was like, ugh, there were no fireworks, no sparks. And she is realizing that she kind of likes Xaden, so that's exciting. Violet's dragon, I like freaked out when I realized this and I'm like, how did I not see this coming? But Violet's dragon is mated with Xaden's dragon. So now they're all like inextricably linked. And then Xaden got accused of setting Violet up to be bonded with Taryn. And Xaden says, Sortingale is the last person on the continent I'd ever want to be chained to me. I didn't do this. They're dependent on each other. They're tethered to each other. We love a forced proximity type vibe. Violet still hasn't killed anyone. I feel like that's a big part of her psyche. I'm like really worried that she's gonna get like whiny and annoying when she has to kill someone, being like, oh my god, I can't believe I killed them. Which, like, fair, right? Like, I get it. Anyway, I'm still loving it. I literally can't put it down. I also just found out that Adarna is literally a baby. She's like 2 years old. I feel like Iron Flame gets such a bad rap. I feel like so many people like can't get through it or like DNF it, just don't like it. And I'm very nervous. But anyway, those are my thoughts for now. It's the next day and I have been reading some more this morning. I swear I feel like I've been reading for a lot longer than I think I actually have. I feel like it's low-key slowing back down again, just not as like heart-racing exciting necessarily as it was yesterday morning. So anyways, I am like 58% of the way through the book now. She's just like working on manifesting her signet power and like figuring all that out. I feel like not that much has happened, honestly. Well, a bunch of people tried to kill her. And so then now this guy Liam has been attached to her hip for the past 10% of the book. And I really like Liam. The other thing basically that just happened is that the dude has been trying to kill her since literally page 1. What's his name? I already forget. Jack Barlow. She got put in like the sparring ring with Jack Barlow. She poisoned him with like orange juice, I guess. The way the last chapter ended off, I don't know if he officially died yet or not. Good morning, friends. I have work today, so I need to start. I have a meeting in literally 8 minutes, so the day is upon us. I made a matcha. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed because I did not get very far in Fourth Wing yesterday from when I last talked to you. So turns out that our girl Violet did not kill Jack Harlow. Is his name Jack Harlow? Barlow. Anyway, I stand corrected that Violet didn't have her first kill yet. I'm sure that's coming, so. But basically now they are like doing their challenge where they're trying to break into her mom's office. Violet's like, low-key, why don't we break into my mom's office? And then we'll win. I'm probably gonna try to finish it today. Also, today is the last day of September, and I want to officially have it marked as a book I read in September. So the clock is ticking. Honestly, I'm gonna use that as a motivator because I think that might help me want to finish it tonight. And we finally found out Violet's signet power, which is lightning wielder. So whatever that means, I think she finally killed Jack Barlow. I'm about 70% of the way through the book. We got our girl Violet a saddle for Taryn, finally. I've been waiting on this for like hundreds of pages. It was acknowledged at some point that there's indoor plumbing. And as soon as I figured that out, I was like, okay, so if there's indoor plumbing, like why can we not get a saddle? Violet was kind of annoying me because she was like, everyone's gonna know I can't stay on my dragon when they see the saddle. And Xaden was like, girl, they already know. She was like, okay, fair point. Dane just gets like more annoying by the chapter. He's very controlling and possessive. I just don't trust him. This continues to kind of have divergent inspiration because they basically were kind of playing like capture the flag, but with their dragon, which there's that huge game of like capture the flag and divergent. And it kind of reminded me of that. But basically where I left off is Violet is a lightning wielder. So that's where we're at. Wait guys, I'm realizing that there is some motifs, metaphors here. Tarn, however you say it, has been calling Violet Silver One because she has like basically dip dyed silver hair, like the ends of her hair are naturally silver. And then when the lightning came down, it says the bluish streak of silver death slams into the tower. So there's this connection because lightning is like silver death. I must say, Rebecca Yarros, you kind of cooked with that one. But also, I'm so new to fantasy. I feel like maybe that's like not that exciting, but I think that I just thought that was a cool connection and tie-in, so. Also, Adarna is so baby girl. She's like golden and she reflects in the sun. So they had her roll around in the mud so that she was like camouflaged, and oh my gosh. Ew, Dane is kissing Violet's forehead. Like, get away, my guy. You're not her boyfriend.
Okay, so basically the reason that Xaden was linking up with these Griffin riders is because I think that they're all linking up against a common enemy, which is Venin. It's kind of giving like when everyone had to put their differences aside in Westeros and like link up to defeat the White Walkers. This isn't surprising to me because though I never mentioned it, Violet has been talking nonstop about this folklore book that her dad gave her. And basically like there are these bedtime stories that kids are told when they were little about these monsters called Venin. So anyway, obviously they really exist. It seems like we're all linking up to try to fight a common foe, but some of the like selfish leaders in Navarre don't want to help the less fortunate who don't have the resources to defend themselves.
Oh, Dane.
Dane, when I catch you. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind that he was reading her mind without her permission. Guys, this is bad. We've been sent here to die. Okay. Okay, I'm on chapter 38. I have 2 more chapters. Let's finish this up. It all comes down to this. Finish the book. I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm not surprised Brennan is alive. I wish I was. I'm also not surprised there's a revolution. It's very much so giving, welcome to District 13, Katniss. This is the revolution, like the very end of Catching Fire. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, but I don't know. We will recap in the morning. Let's talk about Fourth Wing. I finished this last night and I've just been kind of thinking about it throughout the day. I want to start by giving a few thoughts on the ending just because I know I didn't really give my thoughts on all of that last night as I was reading it. And then I'll give my thoughts on the whole book. Let's talk about the battle scene because that was crazy. There was like so much going on. I was definitely getting lost a little bit and was skimming, but then I was like going back and rereading, trying to figure out like what I needed to know, what I didn't. Battle scenes already aren't really like my favorite. I want to know the outcome of the battle, but a lot of times they're just very disorienting. I think too, sometimes with those scenes that are like high adrenaline, my eyes start reading faster than my brain can keep up with. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? And then I'm not processing. I think also because you have dragons and wyvern and griffins all in the airspace, and then you have people on the ground, there's a lot you're trying to keep up with of like, okay, this is happening in the airspace, but this is happening on the ground. And it already can be hard to keep up with what's going on just in one of those two. And I think also at the end, trying to figure out like what's going on with the venin, with the wyvern, trying to grasp how powerful they are, what they're capable of, all while digesting the scene at large, like learning all of that information in the world building through a battle itself. Just a lot of information I was taking in, I feel like at once. So I wish I was more surprised by the ending. I felt like I wasn't that surprised. I actually hadn't had it spoiled for me, but I don't know. I just wasn't shocked that Brennan was alive. I also feel like the very last sentence, welcome to the revolution, Violet, it was a little too Catching Fire. And I think for me, it just totally took me out of the story. I understand that Suzanne Collins does not have a trademark on that phrase, but those are my thoughts on the ending. When trying to sum up my thoughts on this book, I think it's hard to separate my thoughts on the book from the way the book was received by the public. It feels like everyone's read it. It feels like everyone's talking about it. Overall, I found Fourth Wing quite enjoyable. I think it's a really good intro to fantasy. I've heard this book was written with the romance reader in mind, and I think that that's evident. But I also feel like I've read better fantasy than this. Like just because I'm a romance reader doesn't mean like I can't understand complex fantasy worlds. But all in all, I do think this is a good like intro to fantasy. I think that fantasy can feel really intimidating for people, even people who like to watch fantasy shows and movies. Having a book that's kind of marketed as a good intro to fantasy or romantasy is really helpful. I think the reason this also is really accessible and easy for beginner fantasy readers is that a lot of the concepts in this book are very familiar to readers who are fans of more mainstream stories like Harry Potter
Potter, Game of Thrones. Okay, my microphone died, but I really want to finish up talking about my thoughts, so I hope this audio is okay. I think what was bingeable about this book was the college setting, for sure. The enemies to lovers romance. Trying to figure out what was going on politically. My absolute favorite part of this book is the banter between the riders and the dragons. Like, that is hands down the best part. I feel like I really liked the first half of this book more than the second half, and that's always really hard for me to rate. I was loving it all the way through when Violet got her dragons, but then when it started taking her forever to manifest her signet power, I started getting bored. And then by the time she manifested her signet power, it like immediately went to her and Xaden being like all over each other. But for some reason, the beginning just hooked me a lot more than the ending, and that kind of disappointed me a little bit. So I think I'm leaning towards like a 4.25 stars, which a 0.25 star rating, like I really hate to get that specific, but it's more than a 4, but I don't know if it's quite like a 4.5. So I think I'm at like 4.25. I feel like I wholeheartedly understand the girls who are obsessed with this book, and I also wholeheartedly understand the English literature majors who are like, why did this go viral? Like, why is this the book that popped off? But at the end of the day, I had a fun time reading it. I'm gonna read the next one, so I can't be too harsh, but I want to give all my thoughts. It was really fun to release my inhibition as I was sharing you spoiler updates all along the way. I just felt so free to share all my thoughts. Let me know, have you read Fourth Wing? Please don't leave any Iron Flame spoilers in the comments, but let me know what you thought of Fourth Wing. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the dragon emoji so I can know who made it to the end. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below if you're new here so you don't miss a video from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.